All right, back with a part 3 of the amazing Las Vegas Comic Con. You know, I have these coasters just still sitting in the box. These Marvel coasters. I'll just see if I can post them up over here. Yeah, I'll just see if I can leave them right hanging out over here somewhere. Just keeps that backdrop a little up there a little bit, flaking out. It's all Marvel. So yeah, let me see if I can get through these fairly quick. So that's pretty much it for the signatures. That's pretty much it for the loose autographs. Although I'll show some more. I know I've got a few more. So when I got done with all my autographs, then I spent some time running around looking at some vendors and whatnot. Found a guy that was selling all these the blank variants for sketches, and all the books were $5. He had a nice fat section. Everything was $5. He had another section of blank variants, and some of those were a little more than $5, but I just went with the $5 ones. I believe this one just came out. Thanos. Yeah, look at that. That was a beautiful cover, right? Decided to grab another one of those. These are all, in case I want to get, one of these days I want to get some sketches. Because on Sunday, I had the opportunity to meet Ray Jr. again for the second time. Because it was Friday night. I'm back at my place, getting ready to crash out. Started checking out some of my videos to try to, maybe make some responses to the folks who left comments. And I got a comment on my video, one of my recent videos from Ray Jr. asking, "Hey, what's going on? Or how's it going? And are you going to be at the con again?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back on Sunday." So, again, Sunday I get the prez. It's all done. And CGC, that's right. CGC has a new process. I'd say it's pretty darn fantastic. Okay. Get all my autographs signed, but I get all my prez stuff done. My 10 items, with the exception of the pop box up there. I'm not submitting that, obviously. So get my comic books done, and CGC they got a rep that's just posted up. He's there. He's got a bag that seals with some cards, like some templates that he'll put inside the bag. So you simply just walk up to the CGC rep guy. I walked up to him actually when we were in line for Perez, before Perez showed up. I walked over once I saw him post up with a chair. He's got all these sealable bags and his little cards. I said, "Yeah, I'd like to get some books submitted." He goes, "No problem. As soon as you get done signing, just come right to me." And he's basically, the moment you leave Perez's autograph area and you turn to the left, the gentleman's right there. He's got a spot, he's kind of off on the outskirts of the line, but he sees folks getting stuff signed. So my wife and I, as soon as we get the item signed, to get a photo with Perez, we take those items. We went right to the CGC guy. He says, "Hey, no problem. Let your stuff dry." And at which point, put all the books together. We put them in a bag. He says, "How many items?" You tell him how many items you got. You put them all in a bag. He puts the cards in there with it, seals the bag, and says, "Okay, now you can go to CGC. Go to the CGC and turn these books in, or you can go enjoy the con and do other things. But you keep your books with you, and the fact that it's in a sealed bag means it's been witnessed." And he just stays there. He's posted there to watch everybody get their stuff signed, and if anybody wants to submit, he'll take care of it for them. So instead of running back and forth and trying to always get a witness that follows you, they do it this way. Now, if you want multiple autographs like I did on one of my books, when I went back to CGC to submit my books, I take the sealed comics over there. They crack them out. They crack the seal open. We put all the books on the table. You say, "Okay, which ones you submitting?" You fill out the forms, and then I say, "Oh, I have this one book. I want to add a few more autographs on." At which point they grab a rep, and that rep follows you around like they used to. Like they did in the past. They follow you around to add on the additional autographs, and then you're bringing that book back, and then they close you out. So that was fantastic. CGC is trying to figure out a way, and I believe they have, to give you more time to spend on the floor, to look at the vendors, to not spend all day in lines. You're going to spend a lot of time in lines for autographs. They don't want you spending all the time in line at CGC, or or running back and forth, juggling books, grabbing a rep for every time you need to get stuff done. So I think they're really onto something. They're doing something really good. Whew, that's long-winded on my part. So the last one I get was The Life of Captain Marvel for blank variants. But as I get these on Sunday, I bump into Ray Jr. again for the second time. He's at CGC closing stuff out. He's got some beautiful sketches. And so that's what probably prompted me to buy some of those books right there. Because after seeing Ray Jr.'s beautiful sketches, I thought that's probably my next step in this comic book collecting, is maybe starting to get a few more here and there. I've got a couple, but so it's nice to have those blank variants. So I come across a vendor and he says, half off all the stickered items. So this was $5. I'm like, okay, cool. It's an issue I needed for my Silver Surfer Volume 3, although I think it's Volume 2. It's really Volume 3. It is really Volume 3. Volume 3 Silver Surfer's second ongoing series. Third ongoing series. Yeah, it's his third ongoing series. So I just get that issue there. And then I start grabbing some Spideys, because he didn't have Surfer's tough to get. You start closing it out, I guess. But I'm good on it. I'm actually good on it. I'm close. I decided to grab another one of those. I like that. In fact, it didn't have a price tag on it, and this was from a different guy. I think he just gave this one to me for like $3. Yeah, I like that. I just grabbed it. This ended up being $1.50. So they cut the price, right? So Amazing Spider-Man 14, and these are all in decent shape. I don't see a lot of spine ticks, not jacked up. These are all fillers to help complete my ASM. I just basically want to go 100 to 700. That's it. And I'll work my way down from 100 and go from there. Issue 408. Issue 411. I was really happy to find these, and then to know that the price is going to be half off. Issue 412. Issue 413. Issue 415. How's that coming in the frame, huh? Probably not so hot. Issue 415. Issue 419. Okay. Those are it for again, those are just some nice fillers. I was stoked to get those. Yeah. As far as buying any, spending crazy money on $1 or $2 and getting kind of like a big boy book, that wasn't really going to happen considering the autographs and the submissions. Going back over to Big Dog Inc., and that's where Nia Ruffino was at. She has a nice little table section with those folks. There's Big Dog Inc. books there you can buy, and she can sign them or whatnot. Well, this was the book I currently already had, but I just had her autograph it for me on Sunday. It was fantastic. On Friday, I noticed Dan Mendoza was there, and Dan Mendoza, this was the second time meeting him. But I know he's coming back to my area here in Cali, so that's why I didn't push the issue for getting some more Dan Mendoza. Dan Mendoza. So, but at Big Dog Inc., they had some books from Dan Mendoza, and I decided to get them because I was like, man, I don't recall ever seeing these covers. And these are, I guess they said they're kind of limited on these. These are old too. There's a risque version and a non-risque. And I like the non-risk. I like them both, but I wanted to purchase this issue as I got it. Let's see if I back this up a little bit. Oh, there you go. So I like this issue, but I had to wait. Nia Ruffino didn't. She's like, she had to wait for the rep to come back. She's like, well, she wasn't sure on the prices because there's no price on the back or nothing. And she's like, well, I'm not sure that's $20 or $25. I'm thinking, okay, I can do $20-$25. The rep comes back. He's like, oh, well, it's sold in a set. You got to buy both of them because it's the only two he's got. So I'm like, okay. And he goes, well, the set's 100. I'm like, I thought, well, that's kind of. My wife's looking at me. I'm looking at her. I'm like, all right, that'll be my big purchase then. So I got both of them for 100, and I got the risque version. I don't think I have any. Let me see. Here's some. Here, I'll cover it up real quick. Maybe with some special Marquee tape. Marquee 316. There you go. Get that sound in there. Oh. Yeah. Okay, let's see. That's good enough. So yeah, there you go. This is the risque version. And I was like, right on. And I could have gone and get those signed by Dan. But again, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna meet him when he comes out to my area locally, and I'll handle it then. So that's all good. Let me take that tape off because it's actually beautiful artwork, but I don't feel like showing it. That's just for me. Okay. So again, it was a fantastic con. I accomplished what I wanted to do thanks to my woman. Thanks to all the great folks there. Thanks to George Perez himself for being one heck of a guy, an amazing gentleman, George Perez. His handler, I forgot her name. I'm now following her on Instagram, though. I found her on Instagram because I don't think George Perez does Instagram. I'm following her because she's awesome. I talked to her a little bit. The poor gal, after that incident in New Jersey, she said how she got a lot of hate mail. Never got any hate mail before. And I'm like, you can't blame anyone but the fans for situations like that. She, the handler, she can't control a mad crowd, and it's really the people, whatever convention they go to, it's the folks, it's the convention that supply them with the folks to help control the line. But enough of that. I just told her, I said, I said, I just got back from New Jersey. I missed out on getting Perez. And they're like, but I said, I'm stoked I'm getting him now. And, the poor gal, she's like, I never got so much hate mail. And I said, I'm sorry about that. I said, there's no hate here. There's only love or whatever. No hate on my part. Not at all. And so I was just stoked. I also cruised around. I was looking for this Amazing Spider-Man 111 because Jerry Conway was there. And Amazing Spider-Man 111 is Jerry Conway's first work on Amazing Spider-Man. And I know this because I did a book just like this a couple years back for Davis Comic Finds. Davis Comic Finds gave me his issue 111. I got it signed by Jerry Conway. So I thought, let me walk around to these vendors. Let me find one. Let me see if I can get one $20 or under. The first two vendors, $60. One was $70. One was $80. I'm like, oof. And yeah, they're good looking copies. They really are. For that price, yeah, they're like, whatever. They're probably, if you were to grade them, maybe 8.0. They're VFs, whatever. But I'm like, my wife's looking at me like, you just spent $100? And I was like, yep. So she was like, really? It's that much? I was telling her, babe, hopefully I got to find one for 20 or less. So if I hit up this other vendor, and that's the guy I went back to, and I got that Spidey with no price tag on it, whatever. And actually, there's one more book. Where is it? Oh, yeah. So I get this book from him. And, he just takes a little bit. What do you take? I think he just took 20% off this. But I'm like, you know what? It's not. I would have liked one probably a little better, but I'm like, I ain't tripping. Eventually, I'll probably get a better copy of this, and maybe I'll get Conway to sign it again. But I just wanted one for now because I don't know what may or may not happen. I don't know if Jerry Conway might come out to California again in my area or not. So, really stoked with this. I thought it was really, less than $12, great shape, Jerry Conway. And my video should almost be over. What else? Oh. From that same seller, I purchased the one book and ran over to Jerry Conway because he was getting ready to head out. Then after I got done with that, I went back to that same seller that I purchased that book from, and I figured those guys were cool. So I grabbed some more Spideys from him. Issue 221. I'm really stoked with that. And they had this was probably the next pricey book I purchased off the wall. I noticed that he had, and my eyes aren't really that bad because I'd seen this from a distance, and I go, is that 44? They had a sticker at $44.95. He goes, yeah. He's like, but I tell you what, I'll give that to you for $35. I'm all sold. And my mom was looking at me like, she's just so great. She was fantastic, man. She really was. My gosh. I owe her big time. She's got to take her to like one of those. She needs to, like a spa and all that. Day spa on a woman's day. All that good stuff. She knows she's got a lot of stuff coming her way. She knows that much. Stuff that she actually wants to do, stuff that she wants. But the fact she helps me out, the fact she's there for me for doing something like this is phenomenal. So I just want to say thanks to all the folks. thanks to the Vegas Con. It was awesome meeting some YouTubers again, some different YouTubers. I know I got some killer books, or decent books, decent to killer. But most importantly, I got to meet Perez for the second time. Really meet him for the second time. Get his autograph, get books submitted. Didn't get everything I wanted to get signed by Perez, but that's all right. I got my top 10 books or whatever signed by him. That's all that matters. I had a couple other sets of books for him, but no worries. I did the ones I really wanted to do. That's all that mattered. And I got to meet him. I got to meet Kevin Eastman. Got to meet Jerry Conway again. Got to float around the con a little bit, experience some stuff. It was awesome. So with that, and this video is running long, thanks to all the folks. Everyone take care. Have a great weekend.